everyone, so I think it's about time that I come clean and I tell you something. I'm a cosplayer. Whoa! I know that some of you already knew that, but surprisingly, a lot of people simply do not know that about me. Now, if you've been here since the early days, you know that I started making videos primarily about my experience as a party princess for kids' parties. But even before that, I was into cosplay. Cosplay is actually what got me interested in being a party princess, because I was like, oh my gosh, I can dress up and go have fun in costume and get paid for it? Absolutely yes. But my first cosplay was actually my first cosplay was Alois Trancy from Black Butler 2, which is now considered a non-canon season of Black Butler, which I find hilarious. Now, surprisingly, Black Butler wasn't even the first anime I watched. I actually don't even think it was the 5th, 6th, or 7th. The first anime I ever watched was Kamikaze Kaito-jan, which I don't even know where to stream it. I'm sure you'll find a way. But the reason that I cosplayed from Black Butler specifically was because it was popular at the time, because for some reason my middle school brain was obsessed with the character, and because it was a costume that I could find online and beg my parents to buy for me. I never quite got into the crafting and sewing side of cosplay simply because I didn't have the resources or the time or really anyone around to teach me how to make my own cosplay. So a lot of my cosplay, even to this day unfortunately, is all bought. And I might make some tweaks to it here or there, or style wigs to the best of my ability, which still isn't great. But the great thing about cosplay, and what really drew me to it, was that you don't have to necessarily be an amazing wig stylist or able to make your own costumes from scratch to dress up and have a good time. Which then leads me to the real reason that I really wanted to cosplay in the first place, was to go to conventions. And again, guys, remember back when I was in middle school, finding Japanese snacks at the grocery store, or ordering figurines online, or even having a space to go with a massive community who all like the same thing as you, like anime and fandom, that was not as easy to find then as it is now. So because of that, anime conventions were like walking into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. I still remember my first convention, walking in and seeing just a sea of people in cosplay and tables of Japanese snacks and anime figurines and manga and artwork for these shows, and it was just so amazing. And then the friends that you meet at these conventions, I made so many lifetime friends from simply dressing up and going to these cons. And then a little more recently, in about the end of 2021, I bonded with one of my coworkers over our mutual love of anime and going to conventions, and now our little local group of friends go to conventions together every single year. And our favorite convention that we actually just got back from is Dragon Con. Dragon Con is hosted in Atlanta, Georgia, and next year will be its 40th consecutive year of happening. And this year alone, there were 70,000 attendees. Now, many of you know me as the hotel girl, so you already know that I walk into the hotels at Dragon Con, of which there are 5 host hotels, and then of course a plethora of other hotels in the area that get Dragon Con attendees. And I can't help but look at the staff of these hotels and think, oh my gosh, these people are saints. I was lucky enough this year to stay at one of the host hotels, the Hilton Atlanta, and I was there as part of the check-in process, and I couldn't help but look out at all of the front desk agents and just try to wonder what their day and what their entire weekend is like. The convention technically starts on Thursday, but myself and many other people arrive on Wednesday, and it's kind of an unofficial first night. So the amount of check-ins they're dealing with already is mind-blowing, not to mention valet running around with all of the cars that are arriving, and Bell Services trying to help all of these cosplayers who tend to bring mountains of luggage up to their rooms. But then I did also notice that by about Saturday and Sunday, whenever we walked by the front desk, there was almost no one there, because at that point, I'm sure the hotel must be 100% occupancy until people check out Monday and Tuesday. So that's gotta be at least a bit of a relief for the front of house specifically. But then of course, I can only imagine how much housekeeping was running around, because let me tell you, Dragon Con attendees tend to pack their rooms. Again, this was my local friend group's 3rd year in a row going, and our 3rd year in a row of packing 5 people into one hotel room with 2 double beds. And I would say we make it work just fine. Our group at this point, 3 years in, we've become experts in what to pack and how to operate as 5 people in one room. We bring our own trash bags, we bring our own pop-up trash can, we bring our own door hook for multiple towels. Most of us also bring our own towels. Some of us bring our own blankets, some of us also bring extra pillows. We have gotten pretty good at this point of trying to make the most out of the space that we have. Again, we're just one room of 5 in this massive hotel that probably also has packed many people into one room who will then be asking for towels and soap and toilet paper and to take their trash out. And yeah, those phones and housekeeping must just be ringing off the hook the whole time. And then of course, when you actually walk out into the main hotels, you have tons of people in costumes with all these bits that may or may not stay on the entire time, who are walking around usually with drinks and might be spilling if they're getting a little bit too rowdy, or frankly, there were so many people there that there were multiple times that even I got bumped into when I was trying to walk around, and thankfully I never ended up spilling anything I was carrying, but it would be more than easy to just drop anything that you're carrying. And then there are also other traditions of Dragon Con which affect the hotel, like sticking googly eyes absolutely everywhere, or putting up shrines to Dragon Con historical figures like the Cult of John. There's a whole story around the Cult of John, but you can either look that up for yourself, or maybe I will make a video about Dragon Con cults in the future. It's wild. But this year, in addition to the cardboard cutout that represents the Cult of John that people will give offerings to, there were 2 memorials that I saw. One was for Genu from K-pop Demon Hunters, and the other one was for Joanne Fabrics, may she rest in peace. And truly, what makes Dragon Con such an exceptional con is the fact that the hotels allow all of this. There have been many anime conventions that have been kicked from the hotels or venues that they would take place in for even lesser shenanigans than what happens at Dragon Con. That is why it feels so exceptional that all 5 of the host hotels of Dragon Con every single year welcome and allow us back, and I can only imagine those staff meetings. And the post-con cleanup is also legendary in and of itself. I would like to imagine that most cosplayers are respectful of their rooms. I certainly know that my group made sure that we had left as little of an impact on our room as we possibly could, but the main areas of the hotel, those absolutely suffer. Just the carpets alone suffer so much. At the Marriott, during the convention at night, you can't even see the carpet. It's so jam-packed. But then by the time the convention's over, you don't want to see the carpet because she has been through a lot. And yes, I cannot mention the Marriott carpet without mentioning the iconic Marriott carpet. This carpet became synonymous with Dragon Con. There came a point where anytime a cosplayer posted a picture and it had this carpet in it, everyone said, oh, you were at Dragon Con, I just know it. But that carpet gained legendary status when the Marriott decided to replace it. People went crazy when Marriott decided to replace that iconic carpet. They were dumpster diving for carpet pieces. And even now, whenever I was walking around Dragon Con just this year, there was someone who was walking around with a piece of the carpet and a sign that said original Marriott carpet, and people were touching it reverently. That carpet has become just another visual key for Dragon Con. People will give away swag with that design on it. People will make costumes out of that design. Yaya Han herself released a fabric that was done in a extremely similar design to the carpet. You understand how important that carpet is to the culture of Dragon Con and, at this point, cosplay in general. But to bring it back in again, like I said in the beginning of the video, I love cosplay. I love conventions, I love dressing up and having fun and meeting really cool people. And even more recently, I've been getting into other types of conventions, not just cosplay. A couple years ago, I went to Gen Con for the first time ever, and I learned how to play Magic the Gathering there, and now I'm playing Magic just about every night with my friends online. I am obsessed with the game. I went to Gen Con again this year and flew to the wrong city before I got there, but that's a different video. But this year I also went to Star Wars Celebration in Japan, and I went to PAX East with my friends and really loved PAX. I didn't think I was gonna go to PAX, and then my friends twisted my arm, so I actually sent a message to the organizers very last minute asking if I could pretty please get a media badge, and they were kind enough to give me one, and I was genuinely impressed by their media space and by the convention itself. And easily my favorite booth was Larian's, because It's Larian. Not only could you buy Baldur's Gate merch and the game if you wanted there, but you could play test it. And I actually got this funny video of me at the booth.
Wait, Jess, no, wait.
But you can play Baldur's Gate.
No, we're at the you can't play Baldur's Gate here. Jess.
Okay, yeah, it's PAX East, but look, I could play as Frank McDurkle.
Jess.
Come on.
We have Baldur's Gate at home.
Okay.
Thank you.
But even more amazing, they had a photo op area where you could get your photos taken with the characters of Baldur's Gate. And that's really only the tip of the iceberg of how much I enjoyed that convention, but I never really thought I would like conventions that weren't specifically cosplay conventions. And now I want to go to more. Maybe not this year because I'm kind of traveled out, but next year for sure, I want to go to more tabletop and gaming and of course, cosplay and anime conventions. And if you see me in the wild at these conventions, please say hi. I posted pictures from DragonCon. I saw comments of people saying that they had spotted me, but that they didn't know if they were welcome to come say hi, so they didn't. And I want you to know that you are always welcome, okay? But I think I have yapped about my conventions and my love for them long enough. If you would like to see more convention videos, if you would like to hear me talk more about cosplay and the nerdy stuff that I'm into, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. My name's Jessica Vanell, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye!